Welcome to CBS Evening News on this 22nd of January 1973 with Harry Smith and field reporter Taylor Robinson.
Welcome to CBS Evening News with Harry Smith, reporting live from Washington. In a landmark ruling today, the Supreme Court legalized abortion. The majority opinion in the case of Roe v. Wade said that the decision to end a pregnancy in the first trimester belongs to that of the woman and her doctor, not the government, ruling right to privacy. Thus, the anti-abortion laws of 46 states were rendered unconstitutional. More on this story from Taylor Robinson at the courthouse.
Thanks, Harry. The 9 justices on the Supreme Court made abortion largely a private matter and ordered the states to make no laws forbidding it, except possibly during the final months. The court split 7-2 with Justices Byron White and William Rehnquist in opposition. In effect, the court ruled right to privacy and made abortion subject only to the decision of the pregnant woman's doctor and ruled that the states cannot make any laws restricting the doctor's right to decide whether or not his patients need abortion carried out during the first trimester. After that comparatively safe 3 months period, abortions may be regulated but not prohibited by state law and for the benefit of the mother's health alone. Abortion is somewhat more dangerous at that stage, and states may insist, for example, that they be performed in regulated hospitals. Only in the final stages of pregnancy may states intervene in saying no to abortion. Now back to Harry in the studio, breaking news on the case.
Thank you, Taylor. This just in. The court's decision was written by Justice Blackmun and sets limits on the right to abortion on demand. One limit is the time when doctors believe the fetus may be able to survive outside the mother's womb, known as viability. At that point in pregnancy, usually in the 7th month of pregnancy, the state may take legal action to protect the unborn child, even forbidding abortion except to protect the life or health of the mother. The newly liberalized abortion law brought immediate reaction. Planned Parenthood remarked, and I quote, "Raising the dignity of women and giving them freedom of choice in this area is an extraordinary event, and we believe that January 22nd, 1973 will be a historic day." Contradictory to those beliefs of Planned Parenthood, Cardinal Cook, the Cardinal Archbishop of New York, called the decision a shocking action, and Cardinal Krul of Philadelphia termed it as an unspeakable tragedy. Now back to Taylor to recap today's momentous decision.
New York State, among others, have already liberalized abortion. Now the rest of the country must follow suit. The White House is declining comments at this time, but President Nixon has always strongly opposed liberalized abortion. Other opponents are now talking of a constitutional amendment to reverse today's ruling. Until then, if the experience of New York is any guide, America will eventually have 1 abortion for every 2 births. Taylor Robinson, CBS News, Washington.
Thank you for joining us tonight on CBS Nightly News as we recap the 40th anniversary of the court case known as Roe v. Wade. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.
I'm Taylor Robinson. Thank you for joining us for tonight's broadcast. Tonight we take you back to the steps of the United States Supreme Court where 40 years ago the controversial court case known as Roe v. Wade became law, citing the 14th Amendment or a woman's right to privacy. The decision gave the feminist movement a foothold to rely on and also sparked pro-life and pro-abortion supporters to commit radical actions. The class action lawsuit has prompted women to become more active citizens in society and make them believe that their voice is heard.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Harry Smith, and it's been 40 years since the landmark ruling legalizing abortion, known as Roe v. Wade. Recently released polls are now telling us that 70% of Americans believe that the ruling should not be overturned. And you can see how the percentages have gone up incrementally over the years. And for the first time in that same poll, shows a majority saying abortion should be legal in almost all cases. Roe v. Wade sparked a revolution among women, and in some cases still seen today. Even though the decision directly impacted women's rights and reproductive choice, men formulated strong opinions on this issue. According to statistics gathered by the National Abortion Federation, since Roe v. Wade, 8 radical pro-life male supporters have killed at least 8 people at abortion clinics, including 4 doctors, 2 clinic employees, a security guard, and a clinic escort. Since 1977, abortion clinics in the United States and Canada have been the targets of many violent crimes. For instance, there have been 17 attempted murders, 383 death threats, 153 counts of assault or battery, and 3 kidnappings committed against abortion providers. The main argument in not overturning Roe v. Wade or any decisions afterwards is that women should not be forced to carry unwanted pregnancies to term. Due to restrictions on abortion since the Roe v. Wade decision, only 20% of pregnancies end in an abortion, compared to 33% in 1973. However, the lack of accessibility of abortion turns into a class issue, in which wealthy women can fly or drive to other states or countries to get access to abortions, while other less wealthy citizens are forced to bear children they may not want or may not be able to afford. Nearly 90% of abortions, however, occur before the 9th week of pregnancy, long before almost any pregnancies are considered viable. It is evident that no ban would ever stop the practice of abortions. But the real question is, when does life really start? The problem is, no case can be cited as a precedent to establish that a fetus is a person within the meaning of the 14th Amendment. After Roe v. Wade, many supplementary court cases arose. More on that from Taylor Robinson.
Thank you, Harry. Roe v. Wade prompted a national debate that continues today about issues including what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, what methods the Supreme Court should use in constitutional adjudication, and what the role should be of religious and moral views in the political sphere. Roe v. Wade played a major role in subsequent decisions, some of which we'll discuss tonight. The initial decision on Roe v. Wade was quite unclear to what the definition of maternal health. In Doe v. Bolton, the court ruled that a woman's right to an abortion could not be limited by the state if abortion was sought for reasons for maternal health. The court defined health as all factors physical, emotional, psychological, and familial relevant to the well-being of the patient. This health exception expanded the right to abortion for any reason through all 3 trimesters. More regulations arose in the case known as Planned Parenthood versus Darforth, which stated that a married woman must obtain the consent of her husband prior to an abortion and required consent of parents before an abortion could be performed on their minor daughter. In Hill versus Colorado, a Colorado statute was upheld prohibiting sidewalk counseling within 100 feet of a health care facility, including an abortion clinic, by making it illegal to approach within 8 feet of a person to counsel, educate, or show a sign. In a complete reversal of First Amendment case law, the statute was found constitutional by protecting listeners from unwanted communication. That's all we have for tonight. Good luck, and thank you.